Is countertransference is that's the practitioner's unconscious tendency to personalize the relationship. Practitioners may develop strong emotional feelings for a client, dress in a special manner for the client, have sexual feelings for the client. The practitioner must reinforce boundaries. The therapist is always responsible for recognizing countertransference and should take measures to reinforce the appropriate boundaries. And how you reinforce those boundaries, whether you need to speak to like a peer or whether you need to speak to, if you notice any kind of thing like that going on, speaking to a peer, speaking to um, your supervisor or something like that, that may be an option to do. Next here, dual relationships. Therapeutic relationship combines with secondary relationships. It's best avoided. Can arise when friends become clients. Only engage clients publicly if he or she initiates contact. That's the same thing that I do. If I see my clients out, like I'm always at some kind of nursery of some sort, and I'm always going to bump into a client of some sort. It's just hello, how you doing, all that things like that, and then just keep it moving. Dual relationships may arise, for example, for purposes of bartering or when there is a natural attraction. If the client is attracted, you should clearly state your professional boundaries. If you are attracted to the client, you should seek supervision or refer the client to another practitioner. Remember, the best interests of the client must always be served in a therapeutic relationship. Okay, the next thing is the effects of touch. Stress reduction, reduced levels of cortisol and norepinephrine, or increased levels of serotonin and dopamine. Okay, so cortisol and norepinephrine are stress hormones, and serotonin and dopamine are feel-good hormones. When we increase the circulation within the body, then we can increase these feel-good hormones and decrease these stress hormones. So, how clients perceive touch. This depends on the client's background and previous experiences and intention of the giver, which body part does the touching, and quality of touch, which body part is touched, the sequence of body parts touched. Touch is primarily means of communication between therapists and clients. Clients' perception of touch is influenced by all of those factors, as well as the verbal communication that accompanies the touch and previous experience of the client with the giver. This is something we'll touch on a little bit more when we get to Swedish, the types of touch, and how you introduce touch to the client, all those things, how they get really comfortable with you and things like that. So we'll touch a little bit more on that when we get to Swedish. Classifications of touch. Unethical touch is hostile, aggressive, applied to harm, dominate, intentionally sexual or erotic. Remember that sexual intimacy is never appropriate in the therapeutic relationship. All right, touch and arousal, the sexual response, the natural response to stimulation, not necessarily a sign of sexual desire, indicated by male erection or female flushing or fidgeting, may make client or practitioner uncomfortable. If a client shows signs of arousal, it does not necessarily mean they are interested or requesting sexual services from you. Spontaneous arousal may be uncomfortable or even fearful for the client, for the practitioner, client, or both. I completely ignore this. If you see something, I'm telling you, I've gotten to the point where I have blinders. I don't even pay attention to anything except the body part that I'm working on. So it's not hard to kind of just ignore everything but what you're working on. So, all right, managing a client experiencing sexual arousal, the discomfort or embarrassment. Take immediate steps to diffuse the situation. If they so happen to talk about it or say something about it, just let them know that's the natural response. and I would leave it at that. I wouldn't go into a deep conversation with them about it at all. And just, the less words, the better. And then just kind of just move on to the next thing. Move to less vulnerable, sensitive areas. Whatever spot that you're working on at that point, finish it up, and then move on to the next part of the body. If the client indicates persistent sexual intent, stop the session. Absolutely, just completely. No. I mean, if it's no talking about it or anything like that, the session's over at that point. Reestablish clear professional boundaries. I wouldn't do that client again. If it's especially if they continue, if they talk about it after the fact, and you've kind of ended that part of the conversation, I wouldn't do them again.
Okay.
If a client shows signs of arousal, it is perfectly acceptable to move your ethical touch to another area of the body to allow the feelings of arousal to subside and return to the area at a later time. It is also acceptable to discuss the situation with the client and reinforce your boundaries if necessary. Be tactful and sensitive with your choice of words. All right, so desexualizing massage. Be clear in advertising and communication. Screen clients over the phone. Do not succumb to client suggestive behavior. State discomfort with sexual comments. Terminate session if necessary. As far as advertising and things like that, this is a personal, my personal opinion. I advise ladies not to do, if you want to do like a face up type of advertising. This is my personal thing. I would not do like a full body type of advertising of any kind. I have done pretty much every type of advertising, and I've done TV commercials. I've done billboards. After I did the TV commercial, I never did any kind of advertising with my face on it at all. Only because of the calls that I got after that.
Okay.
So it's coming from experience that just don't do it because you're gonna get people calling for all the wrong, because they see your face and they're like your face, and they want to call because of that. And that's my personal experience. It just, tread lightly if you choose to do that. So
I don't like putting my face out there like that anyway.
Yeah, so it's just my experience, what I've seen, and yeah, it just attracts people that are just looking at you, and that's not what they're coming for. You're here to get a massage for this therapeutic reason, not to look at my face and just be here for me. So that's my personal opinion on that one. Screen clients over the phone. I've had clients that listen to how they talk, and if they are this person that shouldn't be coming to you, they're gonna let you know over the phone. They're gonna say something. A client said to me one time, and I got off the phone with him really quick. He said, I said, it was a long time ago, but he said something. So y'all are gonna make it all nice and romantic for me. I said, no, there's no romance going on in here at all. So, and I quickly got to the point where we ended the conversation, and because he sensed that when I, got a little bit more curt with him, and that's not what this is. Is there anything else I can help you with? And I got off the phone really quickly. So if they make suggestive things like that, that's not the client that needs to become. You're definitely not coming in if you make remarks like that. Let's see. State discomfort with sexual comments. That's a definitely. If anything like that, any kind of sexual comments are made at any time, the massage is over at that point. And the next thing, terminate the session immediately if any of that goes on. So it's not hard to kind of just anything that makes you uncomfortable, you can end the session at any time. So just know that. All right, next thing, supervision. Discuss questionable situations with a professional, a counselor, mentor, or peer group. I always tell my students when they leave here, if it's ever a situation that you go through out there, if I haven't been through it myself, you can always call me back and ask me and tell me, or talk it through with me. and that doesn't matter how many years it is from now. If it's any kind of just questionable situation that you have a question about, I'm always here to talk to you about it because I've experienced a whole lot of things over the years. I've had a whole lot more good moments than bad moments, but the weird things I've seen it. I've seen a lot of it. So I'm always here to chat when students need that. Regular supervision offers a way to improve therapeutic relationships with clients. Must have client's permission to discuss a case or must withhold client's name. That's always what I do. You always hear me tell a story, but I never tell the client's name. And I have plenty of stories to tell y'all over this time. If you wish to discuss a specific client's case with a mentor or peer, it is important to obtain permission or release of information from the client. Otherwise, you must keep the client's identity confidential during the conversation with your peer. Okay, adhere to ethical standards of practice. Set an example by your conduct. Provide highest quality care. Know and stay within your scope of practice. Know and obey laws, rules, and regulations. Treat clients fairly, courteously, and respectfully. Always. Okay, so disclose adequate information about treatment. Respect client's right to refuse a treatment. If a client wants to stop a massage at any time, if it's midway through for whatever reason, you stop the massage and you still collect your fee though. I mean, but you still whether you choose to charge them half price or whatever it is, I would charge them the full price only because they laid down on the sheets. You've used your time and you filled that gap with their time and you deserve your money at that time. I'm not sure why they wanted to stop the massage, but you deserve your money. So I would still collect the fee even if they choose to end the session. Represent education, affiliations, and qualifications honestly. If you don't have a certain qualification or a certification, then if you haven't done hot stone massage before, don't go out and say you've done hot stone. You know how to do hot stone massage and just go out there and start putting stones on people. So represent your qualifications honestly. Respect and protect clients' confidentiality. All clients' intake forms and things like that. I have a desk that kind of sits up a little bit high, and I always try to make sure that I have if an intake form is on my desk, I try to make sure I have it turned over just in case that next client comes in. I just respecting their confidentiality. And then when I'm done with it, I try to make sure that I put it, in my file drawer, away from, the public's eyes. So, and I'm big about confidentiality within the school too. I will never, unless you tell me to tell somebody else something, I probably still won't do it. I mean, but it's just I would rather you, relate information about you to another person. I'm just not going to, say something about you to another student or of any kind. I'm not gonna do that. And that's respecting your confidentiality. Disclose to clients information regarding your qualifications, the massage procedures. Most of the time that stuff is going to be on the wall. You're going to have your license and any kind of certifications you have. You might want to put them on the wall, but that gets kind of lengthy over time. So you're not going to be able to put every single certification you have because we have to get them every year. Mm-hmm. So they would be papered all over the wall right now but if you want to make some kind of way to kind of display them where they can be flipped through or something like that, that may be, a thing to do. But that gives clients an opportunity to see all the things that you're certified to do. So that's something to think about. Be sure to obtain an informed consent from the client. That is in your intake form. So when they sign that intake form, when they first come in, that's the informed consent from that point forward. Now, if you want to get them to re-sign that every single time that they come in, you can, like a short form or a sign-in sheet or something that gets them to reconfirm your informed consent, consenting for the treatment. Provide only those services you are qualified to perform. That's what I was just saying. So if you can't do Thai massage, then don't put on an advertisement that you can do Thai massage. Okay. All right. Respect therapeutic relationship and maintain boundaries. Be aware of transference and countertransference. Do not allow sexual activity and retain right to refuse and terminate service. Okay. All right, next slide. All right. Do not practice under the influence. Provide adequate draping procedures. Remember, I was telling y'all a couple days ago, maybe yesterday, your reputation is everything. Never, and those impressions that clients have when they see you, or so if anything is going on, like as far as like this under the influence one, like if you had a drink at lunch or something like that, you may want to delay that massage because they may smell alcohol on you, and then someone goes and then tells this person over here, well, I smelled alcohol on them when they did my massage. So you just don't want that to follow your reputation. So your reputation is everything. Provide the next one is provide adequate draping procedures. You'll learn how to drape your client in Swedish. That's one of the first things that you learn, so that you provide the client with coverage when they get their massage. And you will learn some very good draping procedures in order so they feel safe and protected when they get their massage. Provide service only if advantageous to the client. If a service that you are going to do is going to provide harm, let's say this client, you start doing a deep tissue massage on them, and they're like flinching because it's hurting so bad, but they have heard from somebody else, if it doesn't hurt, it's not working. That's the thing I've had to work through over the years with clients. It should never hurt to the point where if it's hurting, I'm doing something wrong. That's way too much pressure for you. Your body is going to think, oh, well, that hurts. Let me tense up just a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to relax. It's going to be less beneficial than when you're not. It's not going to be beneficial to you. Mm-hmm. So I'm never going to provide. I'm going to tell them, well, let me reduce that pressure just a little bit. It shouldn't hurt. You should feel the intensity of it, but it should not hurt you. So I have a little bit of conversation with them, and then they kind of understand, and they feel a whole lot better when they leave. So I'm never going to provide, if it's not going to be advantageous to you, I'm not going to do that type of massage. And they may, not believe a word that I say, but I'm going to give them the information, and I'm not going to, give them that pressure that somebody told them that they needed, mm-hmm. But they're flinching in pain. So you have to use your judgment when it comes to things like that, and your training, because you're never going to be trained to put a client in pain. That's just not a thing. Provide a safe environment and charge fair prices. Maintain a client's records for a minimum of 4 years and store and discard them in a secure manner. I will tell you, I've never thrown away an intake form, and I have way too many in here. Now, clients have started to do theirs online, so I'm not going to continuously get like a whole bunch of more, but I've never thrown one away. I probably should by now, because those are 17 years of intake forms in there. But I'm like, I don't want to get rid of them. I mean, because for some reason it's storage in the back of my head, and I probably need to move them to my storage too. But I'm gonna need something for something. I'm gonna need to look at that person's intake form. But that's just me. But you can discard them after 4 years, in a secure manner. Disclose fee schedules and financial arrangements in advance of the session. Always have that talk about money before the clients come in. If they will, want to set up like some kind of if you have like a deal or something going where they need 4 massages, chiropractor has them come to you, they need four massage sessions. Talk about those prices before you come in, because people, if it's like a discounted type of thing, especially if it's a discounted type of thing, discuss all of that before they come in, because you don't want them getting off the table and then coming in there and saying, "Oh, that's not what we just with that. I don't remember that." As a matter of fact, I'm going to email them what we talked about after we get off the phone, so that we are all in agreement before they come in. So, and my software that I use, the appointment software, it sends them the price of their appointment, so they know what their how much their appointment is going to be before they come in. So these softwares that they have out there, the appointment setting softwares, they already have it where they send them the price. So it's already confirmed. Once they confirm that appointment, they know how much they're paying when they come in. So it's easy ways to do this. It's not like a whole lot of you're gonna have to go in and do a whole lot of this stuff. Once you set up your prices, that's already in there, and it's just a matter of the client confirming their appointment, and everything is set up. All right. Oh, we went over a little bit. We're almost done. Adhering. Okay, so promote health and wellness ethically. Do not discriminate against colleagues or clients. Strive to improve the credibility of massage. I always speak highly about massage therapy. It's not much that I'm going to say about, unless it's some kind of politics that's going on within the industry that I'm on a soapbox about. But it's always going to be about me trying to fight to make the industry better, or it's going to be about someone that's doing something wrong in the industry, and how that person doesn't need to be in the industry if they're doing this, that, or other that that's ruining it for the rest of us. So I don't have a bad thing to say about massage therapy, because I think it helps people. I don't think enough people know that it does help people as much as it does. So those are my words about massage therapy. So strive to improve it. All right. So be truthful, accurate, and ethical in marketing. Communicate professionally. Refrain from improper language and gossip. Okay. So maintain your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Dress professionally. Continue your professional development. We always do that because we can do our continuing education. Operate your business with honesty and integrity. Keep your business safe, clean, and comfortable. Seek out and use supervision when indicated and appropriate. Remember that people judge you by first impression. I can't tell you the amount of times that clients have come in, whether it be a referral or something of that sort, and their first impression, whether they were rude to me when they came in or something like that, their first impression was, and I'm like, this is what people mean. But I don't allow those clients to come back. If you're rude to me on that first time that you come in, because the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to smile. I'm going to try to get you to bring this back down, because I'm not the one I don't know where the energy is coming from, but it's not me. So I'm always going to smile, and I just bring them in. Let's get your intake form filled out. And I do the massage, get them on the table, and try to get that energy out of my room as quickly as possible. That's what I do. But yeah, that first impression is everything. But they don't know that they're not going to be allowed to come back. But if you call me and try to get back in, then I'm going to let you know, I don't think this is a good fit for your massage needs. So I'm going to refer you to, there's a spa of this kind right here. This may be a better fit for you. So that's my method of dealing with people. So first impressions of everything. So you may have loved that massage, but I'm sorry, I can't work with you anymore. You have the right to refuse, and I definitely do. Okay, so practice good human relations, tact, cheerfulness, patience, honesty, intuition. Do what is most considered for all concerned. Consider it for all concerned. Use your gut instincts to gain insight into your client's needs and to avoid embarrassing or problematic situations. Okay, so have a sense of humor, maturity, self-esteem, and self-motivation. If you respect yourself and your profession, you will be respected by others. Set positive goals and put forth the energy and effort required to achieve those goals. Okay, conflict resolution and management. Maintain appropriate boundaries to prevent problems. I say when you have a website of some sort, get as much information on there as possible so that there's not a conflict or of any kind. The more people know, even though a lot of people don't like to read, they don't like to read the websites and things like that. So you may have it on there and then you're still gonna have to explain it. So that's the reason for my board in there too. So the board, it further explains, it goes into more depth. That it's just like my website. All of those same things are on my website or my Facebook page, so they can see it again when they walk in. Mm-hmm. So that's, you're saying that you didn't know, but that board was in here when you came in. So you're getting a second dose of what you're saying that you didn't know. It's rare that I experience that because I have repeat clients that are coming in and they already know how I do business. Implement strategies to limit or manage negative aspects of conflict. Enhance learning and group effectiveness. Okay, guidelines for conflict resolution. Find out why the client is unhappy. Change what the client dislikes if possible. If problem cannot be fixed, explain why. Offer options to minimize the client's disappointment, and never argue with the client. I won't ever argue with the client, and it's not going to be as much conversation as this is right here. I am all about, I'll listen to a client. Most of the time they've told you why they're unhappy. My response to that is, I'm sorry that you're unhappy, but these are the rules right here. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm not going to change the rules for one client. These are on my website and these are right here. And that's when I end the therapeutic relationship is over at that point. And that's when they've got to leave. So, like I said, it's never going to be an argument. I'm going to be in this same tone right here. And they have to leave. I've had to open the door and, have, it's time for you to go, and in this same tone. But I've only had one client that was kind of rude, and she it was something about, it was Groupon that I was doing at the time, and something happened. She was like 20 minutes late. Oh my goodness. So her massage was only 50 minutes, and I was explaining to her, I'm not going to be able to do your whole massage because you're this late and you're just not filling out your intake form. So your massage is going to be about 30 minutes. She didn't like that. So it was her speaking more than anything. Well, this, that, and the other, and she's bought this Groupon, so of course she's thinking, I've already paid for this, this, that, and the other, just disregarding my time. Mm-hmm. And that maybe I have a client right after you that I can't go over. Mm-hmm. So I ended up having to put her out of, and just I mean, you can go back to Groupon. I'm explaining to you what's going on. We're not going to come to an agreement right here, so I'm going to have to ask you to leave. So that's how that situation happened. Not an argument. It's just, you're going to have to go because this is what's happened, and we're not going to agree today. So that's the only time that something like that has happened to me. I can't think of another time where it has. Very small, incidents that happen here. Because I'm always in the mode of, I'm relaxed. Right. It's really calm an environment. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for me to be angry when anybody comes in, mm-hmm. because I'm already in that mode that I'm always in. So that's been my method, and it's always worked for me. Mm-hmm. Make your policies clear. Recognize communication styles to become a better communicator. Follow up with client after incident. I can't say that I have done that because it wasn't anything that was going to resolve the situation. Now, I did follow up with Groupon after that situation and let them know about the situation that happens. I will I'm big on emailing and messaging, getting a paper trail going, of what has happened, with whatever situations. Just let everybody know, what has transpired within that transaction, and do with it what they will. I mean, I didn't mind whether it was a refund or not. All I just wanted her not to come back.
Right.
So
Get out and don't come back.
yes, at that point, that's all I wanted. Effective communication is critical in dealing with obstacles or barriers when working with clients and colleagues. All right, that brings us to the end of chapter 3 here. And any questions about anything